All right, so this is going to be a real quick video. Not everything has to be a hour-long yap fest, right? Oh my God, I just noticed that I'm on the screen twice. But anyway, I'm not reacting to my own video. That would be a little bit silly, right? But you may remember recently, oh God, sorry. I had a video where I was basically like working through in real time observations about this so-called VGen mafia, right? The collusion of anti-AI peoples and VTubers to blacklist VTubers and AI people, right? I'm just saying. I find it interesting, but I got some interesting things in my feed almost immediately fucking after that, right? So first thing I want to bring up is Nicola was kind enough to comment on this, and I actually find this actually really interesting. So she quotes me, the Skybros community and the auxiliary AI communities, VTubers who are actually training themselves with AI, right, are having a bit of an issue where we a number of us have gotten into contact with established VTubers that have admitted, not publicly, but in DMs to several of us, that they can't be associated with anyone who works with AI because their artist is effectively blackmailing them. And yeah, I've seen more than there's more than one case of this apparently. Uh, but you know, again, people who would be willing to work with people, or even just be able to talk with people, but can't because they're effectively being held hostage, economically speaking. And Nicola comments, yeah, I've heard that a bunch of the people who have left Flavor, which by the way, Flavor was the AI generated VTuber corporation. It was a whole story back in the day with Pippa, right? Uh, so there's that. Nicola was one of the characters developed in Flavor, right? And another character that was developed in Flavor was Senna Bonbon, who was the primary person I kept an eye on from back in the Flavor days. But anyway, so or distance themselves from it, have done so for this reason. Even back then, they felt like the Flavor tag being connected to AI, Pippa, and 4chan was inhibiting their growth and connections with other VTubers and artists. And this is true. A lot of these people will do some really catty shit and go behind your back and try to ruin your reputation through DMs with other people. We saw what happened with the whole Vex situation, right? Apparently, like the certain parts of the community, not necessarily there. I'm not saying an artist did this, right? But it's not like we don't have examples of unhinged people in the VTuber community apparently creating fake DMs to destroy someone's life, like what has happened with Kodiak VT, right? So, yeah. Anyway, personally, for me, playing with the technology is half the fun, and I choose. And if I have to choose between connections with artists and bigger VTubers versus AI, I'd rather go with the AI myself, even if it limits my growth. I actually agree with Nicola here, right? First of all, I never expected to collab with bigger VTubers. Like, even like right off the fucking riff, right? Who the fuck would I? Even off the rip, right? Who would actually like interact with me as a VTuber in a VTuber capacity, right? Outside of the the cameo bros from the Skybro community, right? And the larger community developing from there, right? Let's just say that I'm a very clear brand risk to someone, for example. What's a good example of a? Hold on. Actually, because I already have it up, and I'll bring it up later. If you're, for example, hold on. I'm gonna go with Buff Pup, right? I'm pretty sure that even though, yeah, presumed woke, fair enough, I think that's correct. But if you're Buff Pup, for example, that'd be I could see that be a fun, collab. I don't know what the fuck the collab would be about. I guess in theory it would be fun, but I would also understand that that's never gonna fucking happen. And it's not something I'm actually shooting for, because I also understand how like my content could be a very severe brand risk for someone like Buff Pup, right? Just saying, right? What I create is not that, dissimilar than what like Kirsche and Leaflet on a informational level actually make. Just saying, right? Except I'm way more right wing than Kirsche is, because Kirsche is a '90s Democrat. Love her to death. She's still a '90s Democrat, right? I wouldn't exactly call her right wing. I'd call her a centrist, if anything. But yeah, I've been called by a number of people, fairly right wing. So it's like, I understand that, like, again, I could be, even though I think the left-right dichotomy is stupid, I could see where in this oversimplified climate of politics, me interacting with someone could potentially become a brand risk. I can understand that. But anyway, I bring this up because, again, it's kind of interesting. I make this video about VTubers and artists creating blacklists to inhibit the growth of people they don't like. And what would happen? Then I, of all people, I don't know how they found me, to be perfectly honest, got added to they be using AI slop. First of all, thank you to Keeney for pointing out this is a stupid title. It should be they be making or they be genning AI slop. What does it mean they be using AI slop? Almost all of us are making our own thing. We're actually providing the prompts. I'm just saying, right? Like, we're directing the AI to do the thing that we're trying to get it to do. So it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, right? So, there's that. But this was kind of interesting. So, users who have been found to use AI and when called out, double down. And, I'll double down again. I don't fucking care. I can draw my own shit. I do draw my own shit. I vectored this PNG in like 5 minutes that you see on the screen. Wasn't exactly that hard. And even the fact that I gave it colors I can't see. Not exactly that hard. But also, I don't really give a damn about the moral fagging about the AI. In fact, the more people moral fag to me about it, the more I'm gonna do this out of spite. I'm gonna use AI out of spite. So, but anyway, this is kind of interesting because, like, again, we got this list and everyone on here has been someone who has been experimenting with AI. And as you can see, I've already been following the vast majority of these people. So anyway. But that begs the question, who exactly would create this list? Now, it's interesting because, again, someone brought up the VGen Mafia, and then someone brought up the VGen, in my video, I brought that up, and then Kirsche brought it up in the last video I did, and it is kind of interesting. What do I see here? I don't know. I don't know too much about VGen, but like this whole thing about the VGen Mafia has caught my attention. So if anyone can like enlighten me on this, let me know. So yeah, this is King Dan. I don't really know much about this person. Does seem to be a bit of a wokey, to be perfectly honest, given some of the comments in the down. It's fine. You don't have to like AI, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'm not really bothered that they don't like AI, but I'm not dumb enough to not understand that, like, this is almost certainly, because it's not private. You can already see, like, there's people following this. You can already see that this is, like, again, seeding a blacklist of users, right? And while this isn't necessarily the most important thing on here, right? This is pretty much what I think is going on with the Flabberjiggles thing from a while back, right? Like, what's the point of making a woke chud VTuber list, right? Especially considering how Flabberjiggles reacted to the Kodiak situation. I have a sneaking suspicion. I can't prove it. Insert the whole, what was it, Dexter? Was it Dexter? I never watched Dexter, so I genuinely don't know. The meme of, like, the black police officer, and, like, he's got the I know but I can't prove it meme, right? I'm also not going to look it up on the thing because I'm pretty sure I'll get copyright claimed for the music. But, that being said, what is the actual purpose of, like, again, cataloging everyone, which I'm still not on, by the way. I'm still not on here, even though I filled out that form like 5 times to be put on here. Oh my god. My socials aren't even that hard to find. Anyway, I don't have a link tree, but they're not that hard to find. Oh, sorry. I signed up to be on here, and I'm just still not fucking on here, and it bothers me. Anyway. So it's like, why does this exist? Why is it important that we know who's unclear, who's woke, who leans woke, and who's chud and who leans chud. Okay, what is the actual purpose of this? I mean, to be fair, it could just be that Flabberjiggles just has this very autistic, interest in the subject. And to be fair, on its own, outside of the political climate where everyone's all divided and, politics is apparently fighting nowadays, this could be fun on its own, to be perfectly honest. There's nothing wrong with, like, cataloging people in graphs and charts like this just out of autistic curiosity. So that part I don't really mind. But I do get the idea that even if this is not intended as a means to, like, again, suss out chuds and blacklist them, or those who lean chud and blacklist them, or to find out who you need to coerce to lean more woke, I could see how this list could very easily be abused in that particular situation, right? Now, I'm not on this list again, even though I've even though I've literally filled out a form. It's like, hey, put me on the damn list, Flabberjiggles, right? I have like 277 videos. Put me on the damn list. But maybe anyway. Maybe though, like when I start picking up the streams again, and instead of just making recorded content, maybe I'll get put on this list finally, right? Or maybe this was made with a crawler, and I need to actually make a account on a fucking like a VTuber wiki thing, right? Because I think that's actually how some of the stuff was compiled, interestingly enough. I did see a number of the people in the Cameo group on here. Vesper Blackthorn is on here before me. Well, to be fair, Vesper also streams, so I think that's literally the thing. I haven't streamed in a while. I've been very busy. Oh my goodness. I'm getting mogged on this chat, to be perfectly honest. I'm getting mogged on this video, and all I've done is look at a fucking look at a website. Well, there's Powder, if you didn't know where she was at. Again, not that surprising. A lot of the people who like AI are going to lean a lot more towards the chud. Okay, I was about to say there's no fucking way. It's like, oh, okay, no, I'm confusing these two. Anyway, so yeah, even if this isn't intended as a like a basis to compile a blacklisting resource on, I'm pretty sure it will and probably has already been used for that purpose. Let's see, and then finally we have this one. This one I find is not as egregious. This is again from Vera Volta in this case. So defenders and or promoters of Lolicon. Now, admittedly, I did talk to Vera about this situation, and that's actually why I'm on this list, because I mean the list is defenders and or promoters of Lolicon. And I was defending the subject matter because we had a disagreement on the definition of the term, and depending on how you define the term, right? I take the body type argumentation, right? Whereas she does not. So again, this leads to, it's one of those things where it's like, depending on how you define your terms, leads to wildly different conclusions. I don't think she's being disingenuous. She didn't think I was being disingenuous. We just thought we were just, we genuinely like did not have an issue talking about this when we did. We just left on disagreement. It was a polite conversation. We just disagreed, right? I actually respect Vera. I actually respect Vera. Don't bother her. Anyway, but I did make a suggestion for her to like divide this list into like those who actually defend or, well, actually, she changed it to like actually defender or promoter. So that might not really be necessary here. But anyway, so this is more or less just a, it's not really, it is kind of a blacklist list, if you will, but it's intended for, again, people who are against, Lolicon and those who defend it, mostly from the Christian side, so that they don't collaborate with people who either defend it or promote it, right? And I could see that. There's a deeper actual reason behind this than there is this fucking anti-AI thing, to be perfectly honest. I can actually see more purpose to this than it is to this. Although, I should be on all three of these damn lists, right? I should be listed as a chud here. I should be listed as, like, on here, which, again, I even told her in that conversation. It's like, look, might as well put me on the list because I've actually defended this topic before. I think I've talked about this in my one of my Chibi review videos where I was like, look, there's an underlying psychology behind here. Most people don't understand it. But anyway, you don't have to like it. I didn't say you had to like it. I'm just saying a lot of people don't really understand it. And again, I should be on here because guess what? I do make AI slop, right? But I don't pretend it's mine. I'm always very clear when I'm using AI because I think that at least you should be honest, even if you think AI is something that, again, could be a useful tool. And, you know, I'm interested in the technology. So oftentimes I am just directing the thing. But yeah, anyway, long story short. Yeah, this just popped up in my feed, and I was reminded of the Flabberjiggles and the, again, defenders and promoters of Lolicon document, and I was like, ah, yes, another blacklist document that we have. Definitely need more of those, right? So that's all I wanted to really comment on. I want to learn more about this VGen Mafia, but that's going to take some time. I'm going to have to talk to some people to see if I can find any information on this. So yeah, I guess that gives me something to do in the background for a while, right? Damn it, Flabberjiggles, put me as a chud. Fuck it. Again, I got like 200. I got 277 videos and I got 1,000 subs. Put me in the fucking list. Anyway, so. I jest. I understand. I jest. Like, I'm just having fun with this. I'm pretty sure this will be used for nefarious purposes. But, yeah, it's just... I just think it's funny to lose my shit over this, to be perfectly honest. I'm pretty sure someone will be entertained if I'm losing my shit over, again, I'm not listed as a chud in the woke chud list. I'm not even on the list. I can't even be marked as unclear. So, yeah. So that's what I wanted to post. We're probably going to see more of these, and if I find any details on, like, blacklisting in the community, I will try to report on them as I find them, because I think we probably should be keeping better documentation on, like, who's creating these blacklistings and why they're creating the blacklistings. You know, just so that we can better navigate the spaces that we're trying to occupy, right? I don't necessarily want to be interacting with someone who is like, ah, yeah, they don't like, they don't want to interact with anyone who uses AI, right? Well, then if I use AI, why would I want to interact with you if you're anti-AI, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah, you're going to go have your space over there, I'll have my space over here, right? But the reason that this pops up as interesting is because a lot of these people... not this person in particular, I don't know this person. It wouldn't surprise me if this was the case for them, but I don't know them, so I can't make that assessment. I'm agnostic on this particular issue regarding this person, but a lot of people don't necessarily accept silence on a particular issue. That goes with, again, the lolicon thing, that goes with the AI thing, that goes with the woke chud debate. If you refuse to engage in the debate, you will have retards mostly on the side of, you know, the moral outrage side that will then moral fag about it and be like, oh, you can't not have an opinion on this. It's like, no, I can choose to not have an opinion on this, right? But if you choose to not have an opinion on it, it could be a little devastating for some people's community, because eventually someone's going to ask your opinion about it. And then the people doing the blacklisting, you know, can try to ruin your reputation. This hasn't, again, this just happened. It's like, so I'm interested to see how this evolves. So anyway, just really small update, nothing to really see here. Y'all have a lovely day.